Alrighty, I think we're on, Derick. Everybody, hello. Welcome to another episode of This Week in Reselling. I have my man Derick here with Reckless Hobbies and Collectibles. Good to see you, Derick. Thank you so much for coming on. We highly do appreciate it. So what's going on, Derick?
Nothing really. Just got home, so had to jump on, bro. Thanks for inviting me.
Hey, man, it's a pleasure. I know that for the people that don't know, Derick owns what would you call it, Derick? I guess a collectible store, hobbies and collectibles, where people can go in and trade in some of their goods for stuff in the store or store credit or
Yeah, so
cash.
we do a buy sell trade. So we have RC cars, Hot Wheels, toys, comic books, bunch of hobbies and collectibles. Pretty much like when you go in there, it's like a blast from the past.
Dude, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
That's like we have a store here in Nashville. It's called The Great Escape, and it's, same thing. Records, toys, video games, like all that stuff, and I can easily drop tons of cash in there. So I gotta be like real careful.
It is.
So Derick, your store is located. Just tell us before I get started into that, Derick. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, bro.
So my name is Derick. I'm a full-time reseller. So yeah, we have a store here in Vancouver, Washington. I'm partnered with my brother, my cousin, and my nephew. We opened up 3 years ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're still a pretty new store. We've always talked about opening up a store because all of us are collectors and resellers. So it literally kind of just fell in our lap, and we're like, all right, let's just do this. It was so.
So are you more like the person that's like day-to-day operations, or your brother and would you say your nephew?
Yeah. So it's like we're doing it it's a family business.
Okay.
So we're all there. We're all working it.
Oh, that's nice.
We all if somebody needs time off, then we just cover for each other. It works,
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
So we got somebody jumping on, Derick. Street Prototype. I don't know if you know who that is. They say Gio. Gio, do you know who that is? Maybe I don't know who it is.
Hey, that's my cousin. He's one of the partners.
Oh, word! What's up, man? Good to see you, bro.
He's got the diecast expert.
Oh, dude, and we're gonna get into that for sure. But again, guys, if you have a question for Derick, make sure you jump on and ask the question, because it's gonna be we got a great interview here planned. So, Derick, we were talking a little bit before we started, from a person that his profession was a tattoo artist to someone that owns a collectible store. Like, give us a little bit of like that journey of like what like we were talking before, but just so the people know, like, so, how did you transition? Because I feel like I know that you're you're a collector of various things, but just that transition I think it's a little crazy to me.
Yeah, so I got into tattooing when I was about 18 years old, and then I was so passionate about tattooing, and I was also a collector at the time, so I'd go to toy shows, Comic Cons, and everything. It was just the art for me of anime and comic books, and I would decorate my my tattoo station with just toys and comic books. So that was what everybody knew me as, just the artist and collector. And then I started getting into reselling. It was my brother that actually introduced me to selling on eBay. So I would kind of buy and sell stuff just to kind of pay for my collecting habit.
Yeah.
So he was the one that introduced me to it. He's like, you could sell anything. So it turned into, I bought a collection of comic books. It was like a long box. And I only wanted like 5 books out of there. And then I figured I'll sell the rest to, make my money back and make a little bit more to keep collecting. And from there, it just kept going and going. And then when I stopped tattooing, I was like, I can make money reselling. So I just became a full-time reseller and just, fell out of love with tattooing, and just collecting was just all I was about.
Nice. Now, what was the time period from you quitting your or transitioning from your tattoo job to your owning this collectible store, like in between that, were you just doing reselling full time?
Uh, kind of, sort of. So I started doing what was it? So I started kind of getting out of tattooing when I was about 26, and I was reselling on the side, and I kind of did the whole let me try out reselling full time and take a break from tattooing, and I did pretty well. And then I got back into tattooing for a little bit, and then I just started kind of like doing, I was kind of falling back out of tattooing again. So I was like, oh, let me just try getting like a regular job and do the 9 to 5 thing, try it out for a while, and then still reselling on the side. And it wasn't until I think I was like 28, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna resell full time, and then I just did reselling full time for a good couple years, and then the opportunity of the location that we have just kind of fell in our lap. So the price was good. It's in a good location, and it was literally next door to the tattoo shop that we have.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So we're
Yeah,
like the landlord was cool with us. So he was, I'll give you guys a good deal since you guys have the tattoo shop. And we're like, let's just give it a try.
yeah,
And then we opened up, and it's kind of just, that's been the life right now, is just running the store.
that's awesome. Sorry, I was sending Dustin a text. He says he hasn't gotten the link. Well, we sent it deep. But so when you were doing that full time between those 2 years, like what was your main source of finding things? Was it, and then like how was it stressful for you? Like how what? Because for me, man, like I do have a full time job
Yeah.
and I do reselling on the side, of course. And then for me, I have a wife, like I have other responsibilities. So it's like thinking about like having to depend on like all my income from coming from like people like selling stuff on like selling other people's stuff online. To me, like the idea of it just sounds stressful and overwhelming because I like doing reselling as a hobby and then making money on the side. But I don't know, man. Like I'm just curious to what was that thought process for you?
Literally, I was waking up every day as soon as the Goodwill outlet opened, and I was there daily, just digging through bins, and then I'd go run around to other Goodwills and stuff in the area, and then I was constantly on OfferUp and Craigslist. Like if somebody was selling a collection of something for a good price, and I knew I can make money just by looking at the pictures, I'd buy it,
Uh,
and then I'd come home and spend the day listing, and then it is stressful because like one week you might make a few $1,000s, and then the next week like you're not finding anything at the outlets, your sales are down, and it's just kind of get you in that head of like, what am I doing right now, like, and then you have another good week. So it's really stressful and up and down, but honestly I think it's really worth it, just kind of doing your own thing and not having to deal with somebody breathing down your neck.
yeah,
I think that's the best part.
yeah. That's I think did a lot of people they scale by like doing pallets and stuff like that and starting to sell on Amazon. So you took like a different approach, like you were saying, like going and opening your own brick and mortar store and
Yeah.
then going that way, which and you've been in business 3 years now, is that
Yeah.
correct?
We've been in business 3 years.
So just the difference between selling online versus selling at a brick and mortar store, like tell me a little bit about that. Like what would you like you know what I mean? Like to me
Yeah.
the idea of having a store is awesome, but then it's like you gotta do with deal with customer service,
Yeah.
and then, like other things that may employees and things that may
Yeah.
come up, so I'm
So
just curious to know like the difference between the two and which one would you prefer and all that good stuff.
yeah, so like I don't know, when you're doing it just online, like you don't have to really deal with anybody besides through messages. But but the thing about brick and mortar is you kind of get to know people and you start getting those regulars, And especially if somebody if they specifically collect like Star Wars,
Mm.
you can always just call them and say, hey, I just got a bunch of Star Wars stuff in, and most likely they're going to be there and you're going to make sales. So it's kind of like you get more of a good relationship with a lot of the customers. And as far as opening the brick and mortar store, now I don't even go to the Goodwills. I don't do any hunting no more, really, besides
because it's all coming to you.
Yeah, so a lot of people just bring stuff in now. Before, when I was just doing online, you have to put in the work. You have to go out there and find the stuff. So.
Yeah. We got Dustin in the building. Dustin, this is Derick. Derick, this is Dustin.
What's up, Derick?
Now, real quick, D, just to bring you up to speed, Derick owns a collectible store, like our Great Escape. And,
okay.
So we just asking him some questions. So, we can hear you, bud.
Okay. I can't.
Real loud. We can hear you. Take it a little, it's real loud. Just move it a little off to the side there.
There you go. I just can't hear myself. It's weird.
Okay. All right. But anyways, so you're just in time, Dustin, for the best, I would say one of the best segments on the show is the overrated, underrated segment, where we ask Derick 10 different things where he decides, if, in his opinion, if they're overrated or underrated. Some may be reselling related, some may not be reselling related. So I'm excited for this segment. Derick, the first one is, since you did reselling for a little bit full time, selling clothing online, overrated or underrated, my friend?
I've done it, and personally, I'm just gonna say overrated. And I know there's a lot of clothing sellers out there. Respect you guys, but for me, I can't do the measurements and the cleaning and dealing with the holes in the clothes, and it's the whole measurements and everything is too much for me. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of work, and I respect everybody that sells clothing full time. Seriously.
Yeah, I know Dustin and I, unless it's something that's
a jersey,
like sportswear.
Yeah,
we don't want to even listen. We don't get our juices flowing like we would do. Find something that's I don't know. What would you say, D? Something that's
electronics or something I don't know.
Just something that's a lot cooler,
Right.
So,
bro, I'd literally list one clothing item in 30 minutes, and I can list a whole bunch of video games.
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
Video games you can list 10 in 3 minutes. It feels like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because then that makes a lot of sense. There's the measurements and all that.
Yeah,
it just takes a lot of time. But like you said, respect to the people that do
for sure
the clothing. So overrated, underrated. Derick, next topic: Star Wars.
Oh man, I'm gonna get flamed for this, huh?
Hey, that's why I put it on there.
I'm gonna say overrated. Okay. Don't get me wrong, I like Star Wars. I have respect for it, but it's I don't know. It's never really gotten me that crazy into it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's kind of overrated because I'm not a hardcore fan, but I do have a few Star Wars toys laying around, but that's just because I like the figures. But
yeah.
Okay.
I think once Disney bought that property, I don't know. It got it's almost like that. It got a little too mainstream.
A little, yeah.
I can see it.
You know what I mean? It's you wanted to be like that. I don't know what's that meme where it's you heard about the cool bands before they were cool kind of thing. Now you don't like them because they're cool.
Yep. So, still need that rated R Star Wars. I think I'll just bring back everything.
Yeah, Dustin brought that up the other day. Man, we need a rated R Star Wars.
If they made Mandalorian rated R,
I agree.
Yeah, and let them really do some work. All right.
Yeah. Dang, that's a great idea.
If they're listening to us, we thought of it first.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then it'll be underrated at that point, really.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, man. Maybe one day. So next topic, selling vintage toys, Derick. Overrated or underrated?
I'm going to say underrated. Honestly, I know there's a lot of people that are doing it, but there's so much toys out there,
Mm-hmm.
and like we get stuff in all the time where people like don't even know what they have, and it's like you have like the rarest Master of the Universe figure sitting right here that and there's other resellers out there that I know that are really into like just like Star Wars, and they pass on like a lot of the other stuff, and it's like, bro, there's still money out here.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, everybody right now I think is like really into reselling like vintage T-shirts and video games. That's kind of like the intro into reselling is vintage T-shirts, video games, and there's a lot of stuff out there and a lot of money to be made.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Do you sell any kind of vintage shirts or anything having to do with, the collectibles in your store?
I personally don't. My nephew does. He's really into vintage T-shirts and clothing. Like, I don't know. Like, I tried selling it quite a few years back, but now it's like with the prices on everything, and I just can't keep up. There's way too much stuff out there.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of info for sure. So next question: overrated, underrated, Derick? Sloppy Joes.
I'm gonna say underrated.
I haven't had those in a minute.
I know, dude. I love you.
Dude, I could go for one now.
It's like all I think of is like fourth grade me, the fat kid. Like,
what?
They only give you one, and you're like, oh man, I could really use another one. But they're like, oh, eat salad. It's like,
and it might or might not be real beef.
Yeah.
It's like that Taco Bell, the beefy at Taco Bell. I was telling Dustin that a lot of the Taco Bell products they don't put enough beef in their stuff to categorize as real beef. So that's why they like say it's like beefy burrito because they like copyrighted the word beefy. So they'll say beefy chicken burrito because it's not. They can't say it's beef burrito because it's not really enough beef.
It's interesting.
Beef,
everything's got a beefy taco or
beefy taco or beefy nacho. So yeah. So next one, and this is a good one because it pertains to you. Overrated or underrated? A brick and mortar store for your reselling business.
I'm gonna say, honestly, I'm gonna say underrated. I think it's really underrated. Because selling online is great and everything, but there's a lot of like distributors out there. They won't give you an account unless you have a brick and mortar store. So like having a brick and mortar, even if you have like a small little tiny brick and mortar in the middle of nowhere, like especially for collectibles, if there's collectors out there, they'll find their way to get there no matter what.
That's true.
And
that's a great point.
Yeah, and getting the access to certain distributors can make a really big difference.
Yeah, dude. So of course this, but like Dustin and I, we collect Pokemon cards and whatnot. So we always try to hit those restock, and either we do or don't. But we see this one guy. If we see that one guy, we know that it's going to restock because I think that the whoever's restocking kind of gets like a like a little kickback from this guy or whatever. Dustin and I were talking, and it was like, man, and we know this is what this guy does. He does it full time. He goes to all the card shows and like sells it and stuff, sports, Pokemon or whatever, right? So we're talking, we're like, at this point, if you're doing this full time like it is, it's like, why don't you like open up a store to where you get wholesale prices? Like it's so dumb to pay retail for something that you're just gonna. It doesn't make any sense,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Too much work.
It's too much work. So that's what we're talking about. Opening up. So next topic, and I actually drove by one of these today. So overrated, underrated, Golden Corral. You might not even have any Golden Corrals over there.
We literally have one, and it opened up like a year ago, 2 years ago. Like it opened right before the shutdown, which is funny. So,
you ever been to a Golden Corral?
Yeah, I've been there 2 or 3 times.
Okay. I've been there once.
It's a buffet. I'm a big boy, so I gotta eat. But I'm gonna say I don't know. I'm gonna say overrated. It's good, but there's so many other. I'd rather go to like all you can eat sushi or something.
Ooh.
You know,
Ooh, that's dope. Man, I bet you guys got some great sushi out there out west too.
It depends where you go.
Dude, I bet it's better than here down south.
You think so? I've never been down there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, considering Japan is where Asia's way closer over there than it is here, so I'm guessing it's be better. So overrated, underrated, Derick. Treasure hunts and super treasure hunt Hot Wheels.
Oh, I'm gonna get flamed again.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll get into this topic later on, but for some people that don't know what a super treasure hunt and a treasure hunt for Hot Wheels is, could you explain that a little bit to the people, Derick?
So treasure hunts are kind of like a chase car in Hot Wheels. It's kind of like finding like a full art or a secret rare in Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? So the treasure hunts, they're a little bit more common. It's like getting just a full art card. And then the super treasure hunts are like that secret rare, So it's kind of, they're a lot harder to find. They're kind of random. Like you can go through 10 cases of Hot Wheels and still not find a super. But the regular treasure hunts, they don't come in every case, but you get at least like an ID, an Hot Wheels ID car, or a regular treasure hunt in every case. So it's kind of like almost like a reverse hollow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Pokemon terms.
Yeah. That's a good analogy there.
Yeah. And then the super is kind of like, VMAX or the better cards.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I'm gonna say overrated.
Overrated.
Yeah, and I'm a Hot Wheels collector too.
Yeah, so we'll get into that because I know that, and I want to know more about this because I see you picking up these other Hot Wheels that are not super treasure hunts and treasure hunts, and I'm like, man, I need to know which Hot Wheels to actually pick up,
right?
And the ones that are selling or the ones that people are collecting. So I need to talk to Derick about this because he's always picking up these Hot Wheels. So we'll get into that here in a minute, but. So next topic, overrated or underrated? I forgot I even put this on here. The show Friends.
Oh, man. If my girl's watching this, she loves that show, but that show is so overrated.
It's so
really like she loves watching it, and every time she puts it on, I'm like, all right, I guess it's time for bed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I guess it's a good show, but I think there's other stuff I'd rather watch.
Yeah, for sure.
And Friends wouldn't be like a choice that I'd be like, oh, the Friends is on now.
Oh yeah, dude. Some people they're
die hard
Friend fiends.
Yeah, for sure.
So the next topic.
Oh, she is watching.
Is she watching Friends right now? Congratulations on your engagement, Melody. Is Melody right? Melody.
Yeah.
In here. That's fun. So overrated, underrated, Derick. What did I put on here? I lost my spot. Okay, yeah. Selling on online platforms. So you still sell on eBay, Amazon, Facebook Marketplace. Do you sell on Etsy at all? I wouldn't think so. It would be like more of like handmade kind of stuff.
Yeah, I tried when I was doing paintings and stuff, but I honestly got flagged. So I got booted.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Etsy, yeah.
Didn't know that could happen on Etsy.
Thanks a lot for mention.
Did you know that Etsy actually just purchased Depop for like $2 billion or something like that?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they probably saw that that trend of that Gen Z, picking up vintage clothes would be a good
Gen Zs
acquisition. Yeah, right.
Are any Gen Zs watching right now?
Probably not.
There's a chance.
There's a chance. So overrated or underrated? Selling on online platforms.
I'm gonna say underrated. there's so many people that hate on resellers and everything, and like if they were to just give it a try, it's like, why not make a little bit of extra income or make it your career? You know, it's
I agree.
It's seriously work for yourself. You know, anybody can do it. Literally anybody can do it.
Got that right. Yeah.
If they were considered scalpers, whatever you want to call it.
That term.
I get called a scalper all the time. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, every day.
Not everybody's a scalper,
right?
There's a difference between a reseller and a scalper. Like,
there was one guy that was like hating on me on TikTok. He's like, "You're a scalper," and I was like, "Bro, how are we scalpers?" He's like, "Because you guys resell Hot Wheels." And I was like, "We're not going to the store and buying them all up." I was like, "We have a distributor. Like the cases that we're opening up and putting in the store, we get those on wholesale." And he's like, "Yeah, but you're still a scalper." And I'm like, "How?" And he's like, "Because you don't." And he straight up said, "You don't have a store." And I was like, "Do you watch my TikTok, bro?" And I got
a store.
Yeah, and I told him, I was like, "Okay, here's the difference between us and scalpers." I was like, "Scalpers get receipts. We get invoices. So if you really want to play the game,
that's good. That's good right there."
Yeah. So I was like, "We don't get receipts. We get invoices. So sorry."
Yep.
Yeah, people don't understand that everything you purchase is being purchased from somewhere cheaper.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, the
circle of life, I like to call it.
I was like, "Bro, Walmart are scalpers too then."
For sure.
Doing it on a bigger level.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Derick. So for the last overrated, underrated, and Dustin has not seen the latest one, but the Fast and Furious franchise.
Oh, man.
I know that you just saw the new one. And before you give me an answer of the overrated, underrated, on the scale of 1 through 10, what did you give the new one?
The new one, I'll give it an 8.
An 8?
I really liked it. There were some things where I was watching it, I'm like, are we still watching Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
It's like some, what do you call it? Some Born Identity type stuff. But then I was like, okay, but I don't know. I just enjoy going to the movies. So
I agree. Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's one of those movies that's like, I just want to have fun, I'm eating popcorn, I'm just like, it's a good, like, turn my brain off and enjoy and be entertained.
Yeah. For me, it's the experience, not too hard on movies.
Yeah. So I give it a good 7. I liked it. It's not my favorite. I think the 5th one is my favorite.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Fast 5 is like my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
Was that the bank vault?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yep.
Yeah. So overrated, underrated, Derick?
I hate to say it, but I'm still gonna say overrated.
Ooh, okay. It's close. It like teetered over, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I think like it's cool that they're still making them, but they should have stopped a long time ago.
Yeah. But the thing is too, now that there's like a kid involved, like they can continue to make them like way down the road too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
no telling. I know they had a contract for 10, so I know there's one more. But
there's got to be. You can't end it at 9. There's got to be one more.
Especially the way 9 ended, so it's kind of like I don't want to.
Yeah.
You're good.
That very last.
Go see it. Hey, Dustin, I'll see it again. So whenever you want to go, let me know. We can go together.
Yep. That'll work.
That very last thing, you're gonna be like, really?
Oh yeah, for sure. Dustin will have fun with it for sure, dude. We just watched the movie, The Tomorrow War.
I want to watch that.
The one on Amazon.
Is that good?
Dude, it was good. You know which one I'm talking about, Derick? It's like on Amazon Prime.
No.
Dude, you need to watch it.
If you got Prime, watch it.
What's it called?
The Tomorrow War. It's got Chris Pratt. You'll see it. It's you put on your Amazon Prime, you'll see it. You'll know.
Yeah, they just released it, so it's fresh.
Yeah. It's fresh. It's splattered everywhere.
All my other stuff right now.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's a good movie. It's kind of sci-fi. So if you're into that, it's pretty cool. So that concludes our overrated, underrated. So let's talk about those Hot Wheels, Derick.
All right.
So give us the nitty gritty. So like, if Dustin and I we're at Walmart and we're like, okay, we're not going to be able to find any super treasure hunts or treasure hunts, but I see Derick picking up like GTRs and like Skylines and like different kind of cars. Like, are those actually worth money, or just like people just collect them?
They are, because like right now Jdm Cars are super popular.
What is it?
Jdm Cars.
What is JDM Cars?
Japanese domestic market. So like Japanese cars. Yeah, so everybody's really hardcore into Japanese cars right now. So it's kind of like, my first car when I was 15 was a Honda Civic. So I've always been into the whole, Japanese cars and, of course, Fast and Furious when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
So ever since I started driving, I've nothing but owned Japanese cars. So that's why when it comes to Hot Wheels, like the GTRs, the Supras, all the Nissan, Honda, Toyota stuff, I always buy them because I got a huge love for, the Japanese cars.
Now, do those have like any kind of like resale value? Like, if I buy them for $1, can I like flip it for like 5 to 10, or like?
Some of them, yes. Usually there really isn't too much on the newer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you're getting into just reselling Hot Wheels, I'd say if you're looking for you want to look for the supers. That's where the money's at.
The super treasure hunts, or the
yeah,
super
but they're so hard to find.
Yep.
Okay.
And there's so much competition. So usually with like the Japanese cars, a lot of guys, they'll pay a couple extra dollars for the car.
I gotcha.
So if you're getting it for $1 on average, you'll be able to sell it for 3 to 5 depending on the car. So it's not you're not gonna get crazy rich off of it, but honestly for me it's just the hunting, really.
Nice. What year is that Honda Civic?
I got a 94 Civic hatchback.
Nice.
So
Are you doing anything to it, or just chilling?
it's just sitting right now. It's a project car. I got the motor swap sitting, someday hopefully to get swapped in there, but right now it's kind of rotting like my family says.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. Hey, it's all about time, right?
Right.
It's got to have that time. So, okay, so we talk about Hot Wheels. So what about, these super treasure hunts, we talked about how they're chases or whatever.
Yeah.
So to identify it, what would be, I know it's like that little flame logo that's on the car.
I got one right here.
Look at this, man.
Luckily.
Let me see if I can make you big right here. Can I do it?
Okay, so for the secret treasure hunts, let me see if do I have a regular. I got some regular Hot Wheels too. Yeah, I have Hot Wheels.
There you go.
That's an old one. Okay. So here's like a regular Hot Wheel.
Okay.
And you can see.
Is that a red line? I see a red line.
No. So it just has a red around the rim.
Okay.
Yeah. So to identify supers, you want to look at the tires. You can kind of tell that this one just has like solid plastic tires.
Okay.
And then if you look at like the back of the cardboard in there it is. In like this area.
Uh-huh.
See how there's like nothing back there?
Uh-huh.
So this is a regular Hot Wheel. So the difference between the super is if you look at the tires, see how it has like treads on there?
Little texture to it.
Yeah.
So these actually have rubber tires compared to the plastic ones. And then if I can get to the back, but if you look, it's hard to tell. See how there's writing?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there will be a gold flame that says, or a little gold flame in the back. And they usually with like
there any flame on the actual car, or just
no. So
dang. Okay. That's a dope one.
Yeah.
That was nice.
If you kind of do like research of like what the new cars are out, like there's a bunch of guys on YouTube and stuff that are showing what the new Super is, so you can kind of know what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when this one came out, it was a completely like different color from the other regular ones that came out.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty easy to spot. So
they're also like different colors.
yeah, they usually do like a more premium paint job on the Supers. Sometimes
so
the regular car would just have like a flat paint or like just a regular metallic, and then the Super will have like some crazy anodized type looking paint.
Nice.
But,
Are they still like $1 or are they like
yeah,
premium?
they're still $1.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so you can literally find them with the regular ones.
But
It's a lot of searching.
they're probably worth, like, what's that one? I'm sure you don't know off the top of your head what it would be worth, but
Usually, Super treasure hunts range anywhere from $35 up to a couple $100.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it just depends on how the desire for it from the collectors.
And that's because they're more scarce, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Okay. So, man, yeah, we'll be digging forever trying to look for.
I've only
12
found
hours.
one.
You never found one out in the wild?
I've only found one in the wild.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
because in my area, a lot of the guys are up at right when the stores open. So a lot, like if you really want to get the Hot Wheels you want, you got to be there like 6 in the morning when the stores open, and it's literally a race.
And where did you find it? Was it like at
Found it at
Walmart?
Target.
What is it?
At Target.
Target. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was pretty random. I actually found it in the middle of the day.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And was it that car right there?
Yeah, it was that one.
Oh dang, that's a cool one. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Next time we'll be looking for some Dustin. We'll do a YouTube.
Now we know what to do.
Yeah. So for sure. So next topic here, Derick. I see your videos all the time on TikTok, and you told me it's like, hey man, you need to buy one of these cars. So it's like RC drift cars, or like explain that to me, like actually what they are.
So RC drift car is just a small scale of like a real drift car.
Okay.
So, instead of spending tens of thousands of dollars on, a real drift car that, you can kind of get in trouble with if you're not at the track. This one, it's, cheaper, and you can do it in your house or your driveway, garage. It's just, it's like entertainment, It's another hobby that's just get together with your buddies and drift around cones and, make little TikToks like you're doing Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I think it's dope.
That's awesome.
And it's like a whole subculture, right? Like there's like shows and different.
So in our area, we used to, before COVID, we were hosting like, kind of like, we called them drift nights. Where like everybody in the area, we just invite them like, hey, you guys want to come to us? We do it at like there was a local garage where they would kind of clear out their bays and let us drift there at night.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we literally just like host like free events there for the people in the area, like come on drift with us. But ever since the whole COVID thing, we kind of had to stop all the gatherings and everything.
Yeah.
So hopefully soon we can get it back. It was fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
So tell us about so I'm going to Reckless Hobbies and Collectibles, right? I go up to the counter, I'm like, okay, Derick, I want one of these. I saw it on TikTok. I want one of these cars. Like, what do I need? Like, is it like a kit? Do I have to buy like the base and then the tires, or like what's the whole like thing? Like, how do we even buy any of these things?
It's kind of like you can do what you want. We always tell everybody it's better to get like a ready to run kit. So everything's already put together. You literally just get a battery charger, charge it up, and it'll play. They do sell other kits where you can actually like build the car from like the ground up. So wheels, tires, motors, the ESC, like everything. Kind of, do custom parts and all that stuff. But it can get, if you really go down that rabbit hole, it can get really expensive. Very fast. Yeah.
What is like a ready to ride kit go for?
For like a good one, they're right around like $500.
Dang.
That's crazy. So what is like a bad one? Like if I'm like, hey man, I don't want to spend a lot of money. I just want to see if I'm like.
They're not bad. So like, like the cheap ones from like Walmart, like they're good,
Oh, so that you can buy them at Walmart?
Yeah, so I know like they make a Fast and Furious one. It's like $40. You know,
Okay.
the thing is the difference between like hobby grade and like the toy grade
Mm-hmm.
is the toy grade. If something breaks, there's no part support.
Oh,
So you'd have to like if something does break on there, you pretty much have to get another car.
gotcha.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so like over time, if it lasts you a week, a year, once it breaks, you just have to get another one.
Mm.
Versus like hobby grade, they actually make parts. So if you slam a wall really hard and break a arm or something like that, they sell just the arm for a couple dollars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like you're investing more money up front, but you can have that car forever and just keep repairing it like a real car. Like anytime something breaks, the parts are usually cheap, a couple dollars, like $3 to $5, and you can fix the car. So
It's not bad.
like a one-time investment, and then just keep the same car, just keep running it.
Nice. So it's like the parts that you buy, and these are like real rubber tires that you like. How often do you have to like replace stuff like that?
So the ones we use for drift are actually hard plastic tires.
Oh, okay.
It's slide and everything, but you can put rubber tires on there. It's just going to be a lot harder to drift, but that's if you just get good traction and just run it pretty fast,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I bet they're heavy because they got to, drift and stuff, right? Like I don't understand how like a RC car can like.
The ones we have are actually really light. Like, well, I think like 5 pounds roughly.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not too heavy. Yeah.
So you just gotta like hit it right with the control and just let it.
Yeah, the plastic tires are just going to automatically kind of spin for you. So from there, it's just kind of like, giving good acceleration and then just counter steering to get you where you want to go.
Oh, okay.
It's literally like drifting a real car, but just smaller.
Yeah. I gotcha. So let's say like Dustin and I will go to like a yard sale, right? And we see these like, I don't know, these drift parts or whatever. It's like, what are some brands? Like, what's something that someone can go to a yard sale and say, okay, I know this costs money. Like the base of it, maybe the remote, maybe like certain parts that go on it. Like, have you ever seen anything like that? Like, what costs money in a car so we know that we can buy it and flip it online if we happen to come across it?
Yeah, usually if you're getting anything that's from like one of the main hobby grade companies, if you're getting it cheap enough, there's always money in there. So big RC companies would be like Traxxas, Losi, Team Associated. There's Tamiya. In the drift side, there's MST, Yokomo, Sakura. So those are like the big names. Usually when you're seeing stuff like at garage sales, it's like Tyco or, you can kind of tell the toy grade ones versus the hobby ones just by the way the plastic feels and everything.
Pretty Traxxas. Tim's into that stuff too, Ray.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So our other brother-in-law, he's gotten, I wouldn't say like the drift ones, but like the trucks and stuff, Yeah.
I know the batteries can go for quite a bit, like the Traxxas batteries, like just by themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we got our boy Boozer on here. He says, which one of y'all is fast and which one of y'all is furious? We're a little bit of both. We're all fast and furious.
Yeah, I like to go fast.
Right. So, well, that's all really good info there, Derick. So we know that those brands are good to look out for. Yeah. So, like, can you change out, like, I don't know, the body of them? So, like, say one day I got a Charger, Toretto car, and then the next day I got like a Skyline on there.
Yeah. So, like, especially in the drift cars, the bodies are interchangeable. So
that's sweet.
You can buy like one drift car and then have like 10 different bodies and have pretty much like 10 different cars. So one day you want to drift a GTR, the next day you can drift a Supra.
Wish road cars were like that.
Yeah, you can drift a Lexus the next day. So it's pretty cool. You can just swap the bodies out.
Yeah, that is cool. Okay, that's really good info because I've always wondered, because I know that stuff's not cheap. No. And especially I'm sure a lot of people are trying to find, things like probably like bodies like secondhand, things like that. So that's all good info. So Derick, this is our last question, and guys, make sure to follow Derick on all his socials. All of the info is down there in the description. We have his Facebook, his TikTok, his Instagram. So, and his website. We got your website down there as well.
Put his MySpace on there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Got MySpace?
Yeah.
No, we don't have the MySpace down there.
So, got that one.
Only
so Derick, for someone that buys and sells stuff at the brick and mortar store, what are some of the craziest things that you've seen come through your store that people are just like, man, like you were mentioning earlier, it's like, hey, the grandma comes in, it's like, hey, I have all these Master of the Universe figures. How much are they? Can I get cash for them or whatever? Like, what are some of the things that you've seen that you're like, man, this is worth hundreds of dollars, if not thousands?
It's kind of crazy. Like, there was stuff pre-COVID that would come in, and we're like, oh, it's really not worth that crazy amount. And then now, like, after the collection boom, it's like, man, if that card collection came back in, I'd definitely buy it, So, like, we've seen everything from, like, Shadowless Charizards coming in. Not first edition Shadowless, but just Shadowless,
Yeah, that's still pretty good.
We've had some people bring in, like, some Star Wars figures that are, the last 17 figures? And yeah, some of those figures alone are like $250, $300 a piece.
Wow.
Yeah, so, like, somebody comes in with a box of Star Wars toys. On average, Star Wars toys go anywhere from a few dollars to, like, $15 loose. But, at the bottom of that box of toys, there's that one figure that's, like, $300.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we've seen, just like that, some last 17 Star Wars figures come in. What else? We've had people try to bring us Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies.
Yeah. Oh man, we had one lady literally, like, she got so mad.
People just don't get it. They don't get it.
Yeah, one lady telling us that she had her Beanie Baby collection. We're trying to tell her it wasn't worth anything, and she was pretty upset about that.
Oh man.
I bought a collection of Masters of the Universe where it had the King figure. I forgot his name, but he's a really expensive Masters of the Universe figure. Like, sometimes his crown alone, if you just have the crown, can go anywhere from $50 to $100.
Wow.
Oh, dang.
So yeah, I didn't even see him at the bottom of the bin. Like, I was going through the stuff, and the guy's like, he told me the price. I forgot how much he wanted for it, and I was like, yeah, I'll buy it. And then when I was finally going through it, I was just like, oh, this is the bottom. And it was him with the crown. So I was just like, oh, geez.
That's the best.
Yeah,
that was awesome. That kind of brings up, I don't have this on my notes, but for just negotiation skills overall, like, what does that look like for someone that owns, that buys and sells stuff like that? People bringing in stuff. Are they, do you ask them and say, hey, how much do you want for it, or do you look the stuff up? Say the Star Wars figures that the lady brought in. Like, do you just say, hey, I'll give you $100 for this or $50 for it?
Yeah.
Not knowing what's in it, or like, how do you go about determining the value of something when someone brings it in?
I usually ask the people how much they want for it. That's like the first thing. Like, you can tell a lot by, if you're really going to buy it or not by just how much they want.
Okay.
Like, there's some people where they'll come in and they'll have, like, let's say, like, we've had somebody that had Hot Wheels that are literally worth like $1 a piece, and they wanted like $1,500 for, like, $500 or 500 Hot Wheels, and it's like, you want $3 a piece when, like, they're gonna sit in our dollar bin for years,
Yeah.
To tell them, like, it's, they're not worth that much just because they're from the 90s and they think first edition, they're really nothing special, So it's kind of, we always ask them, like, kind of get a feel for them, like, where are they at? Because that person that comes in with something that's maybe worth $100 and they want $1,000, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna break somebody's heart today,
Yeah. I bet that happens a lot, right? Because
it really does. it happens more than than you would think.
Yeah, because a lot of that stuff, holds a lot of sentimental value.
Yeah,
They're bringing it in because they're thinking that you're the expert, or they
yeah,
have a a little bit of knowledge, or they think just because it's old, it's worth something,
yeah.
and they don't think it's mass produced.
And then we do get a lot of people that look their stuff up before they come in.
They look at the not the solds, but
Yeah.
what's on there. Yeah,
So like one person will be like, "Oh, I want to sell this to you." Just for an example, I saw it listed on eBay for $100, and you're like, "Okay." And then you show them, like, we'll show them the solds. Like, this is the most recent sold ones. We're like, that car you think is $100 is actually worth 20.
yeah.
And they're like, and then we're like, "Okay, so how much do you want for it?" And they're like, "Well, I want $20." And it's like, it's not how it works.
Yeah.
So it's like, we can give you, based on how like desirable that car is, then we give you a percentage, because we still have to make our ends too.
Exactly.
And that's what a lot of people have problem understanding, is they see that something is worth $20, that they're going to get the $20 by coming into a store that resells.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
You give them more, like if they want like store credit. If say they want cash or store credit, you give them.
So if they want to trade, we definitely do give them more. But like as far as like cash options, it's kind of, we still have to factor in that we have overhead, and we have to pay ourselves. We're not in the business to work for free to make them money. So
exactly,
it's either we can give you this amount, or you can sell it yourself on eBay,
and do all the exactly
do the work, and but then they'll find out shipping and fees will get them there. So that's what we tell them.
People always forget about that for sure.
Yeah.
So Derick, we're right at an hour, so we do appreciate you coming on. So for the last question of the day, Derick, for someone that may be considering reselling online, either full time or part time, or even if they're in position to where they say, hey, like you were talking about earlier, I want to start, let's say, I want to start selling Hot Wheels. I'm done with, going to stores and buying it. I want to open up my own store, buy wholesale. They're thinking about, doing it, but they may have, maybe scared or whatever. Like, what's some advice that you can give them, or like, what's some, like, things that you've learned along the way, that you could want to give yourself if you were just starting off, like all that good stuff?
I would say, like, just take the leap, honestly. Just do it. As long as, like I always said, if you're making enough reselling on the side to pay all your bills and be, comfortable, then quit the job and put that time you're putting at your other job into this, and you get there, you actually get a lot further.
Yeah.
So if your side income is able to take care of all your bills and everything, and you're not going to be, even if you're not rich or anything, but that 8 hours you're putting at that job, if you were to put that 8 hours into that side hustle, like you probably flourish way more than you could at the job. It's just stay on top of it, really. But I always tell everybody, just take the leap, just try it.
Let's try it.
Yeah, just go for it. What's the worst having? Just get another job.
It's true. It's true.
It's an employee's market right now.
Yeah, you can literally get a job anywhere right now. So,
yeah. Now they're giving crazy sign-on bonuses too. McDonald's is like $1,000 sign-on bonus.
Yeah, they're literally building like a Taco Bell down the street from my house, and I think just for like a starting team member is like 15 something, and I'm like,
that's crazy.
When did minimum wage become 15 something?
Where was that when I was in high school?
Right.
It's like $9 an hour minimum wage.
Yeah. Could you imagine if we made that much in high school? We'd have like cars on spinners and just buying stupid
That's
stuff.
why you see all these kids driving new cars, because they're making like $15-$20 an hour in high school.
Living at home, yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, Derick, thank you so much for coming on, bro. I do appreciate it. One of the friends of the channel for sure. So, if you guys want to follow him on his socials, they are listed down below. And yeah, Derick, thanks again, man. I know the time difference is crazy. Like, what time is it over there right now?
It is 7:21.
Three
Or
hours.
2 hours.
2 hours. 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So, So, guys, thank you so much for everyone jumping on. We do highly appreciate it. And like always, follow us on all of our social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube and follow and subscribe to our podcast This Week in Reselling.
Yep.
So, you got anything else, D?
I don't. It's been a long weekend.
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Real long weekend. It was good. It was
Fireworks
Did
still
you get that
getting shot
pool?
off.
Did you get that pool up?
Yeah, it's in progress. It's filling up right now.
Ooh, okay.
So we'll be swimming in a couple of days. Maybe
There you
tomorrow.
go.
We'll see.
Nice. Well, again, Derick, thank you so much, brother. I do appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you guys.
And we'll see you guys later. We'll catch you guys on.
The flip side.
See y'all.
Peace.